Apex, North Carolina is known as the peak of good living. As someone who loves a good dad joke and a good slogan, this one was made for me. But does Apex live up to the hype? I'm going to give you my top 5 pros and my top 5 cons so you can decide whether Apex is the right fit for you. Let's go. I'm Keith O'Hare and I'm a realtor who helps buyers and sellers in the Raleigh-Durham market, which includes the suburb of Apex, North Carolina. I think Apex is one of the best suburbs in the Raleigh-Durham area. And in fact, I heard a pretty cool guy lives there as well, so he can really speak to this town. Apex has received tons of accolades as one of the best places to live in America, including coming up on top as the #1 town according to Money Magazine in years past. So we're gonna do a deep dive in that with those 5 pros and cons. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so I know to produce more videos like this one, which tells me you're liking this content and I'll keep those videos coming. The number 5 pro for Apex, North Carolina, it is easy access into Raleigh-Durham, RTP, and the airport. With where Apex is situated within the Triangle Raleigh-Durham area, it's very easy to get into downtown Raleigh, under 30 minutes into downtown Durham, and the airport can be about 20 to 25 minutes depending about where you are in Apex. Apex has a great highway system. There's 64 cutting across from east to west or west to east, and then you also have the 540 loop that goes around the whole Triangle area and is going to be connected down in the Holly Springs area past Fuquay, Garner. So that loop cuts through Apex and then 64 across, so you really can easily get anywhere you want in the Triangle area with where Apex is located. The number 4 pro for Apex is housing options. Apex offers both new construction, resale, and historic homes, so you really can have a wide range of housing opportunities here in Apex. With a median price point of around $600,000, Apex is still relatively affordable compared to other parts of the country, but for the Triangle, it is one of the more expensive suburbs, along with Cary, North Carolina. A lot of the homes here were built in late 90s, 2000s for those older established neighborhoods, but then we also have historic homes closer to downtown Apex that could be a better fit, and then tons of new construction, more on below 64 and 540 in that lower section of Apex toward an area called New Hill. There's a lot of new construction out that way, so great options for you for housing if you are looking to move to Apex. The number 3 pro is excellent schools. Apex is known for its great public schools, and that's a reason why a lot of people and a lot of buyers I'm working with are choosing to move to Apex in addition to neighboring Cary. So schools in North Carolina are mostly county-based. Apex is in Wake County, which is one of the largest school systems in the country. But in the pocket of Apex and Cary, if you look at any of the school ranking lists, Apex and Cary dominate those lists with all of the excellent schools. And we're not just talking about at one level, we're talking about elementary, middle, high school, all across the board. Really excellent schools in the Apex area. So if that's important to you, Apex could be a good fit. The number 2 pro for Apex is parks and trails. Apex has a great park and trail system all across the town. There's the American Tobacco Trail, which is a trail that cuts through Apex, also goes up all the way to Durham. It's about a 25 to 28 mile trail. So great for walking. They even allow horses on that trail, biking, all sorts of activities. There's the Apex Nature Park, which is a great area to run around, play outside. They have a Frisbee golf course. There's the new Pleasant Park, which is a fantastic park that just opened here in Apex and is the talk of the town. And then you have smaller parks and playgrounds like Kelly Road Park, which is right near where I live and is one of my kids' favorites. It's like a rainbow playground, so it is just a cool spot. So if you love parks and trails, Apex could be the place for you. The number 1 reason for Apex is the small town charm. Apex has grown a lot. It's not as small as it used to be. It's around 60,000 people, but compared to neighboring Cary of around 180,000 people, Apex still has a lot of that character and charm that some of Cary's downtown, and it just feels a lot bigger. So if you're looking for a smaller size feel, Apex could be a great fit. And as you walk through the downtown, it almost feels like you're going through a time of yesteryear. It just has great shops and restaurants. There's Salem Street Pub, La Rancherita, Anna's Pizzeria. There's Mission Market to grab coffee. There's shops like Rosenlee, which my wife likes to spend a lot of money at there, but my friend owns it, so we'll support that. So great shops and restaurants downtown. And the town of Apex does such an unbelievable job promoting community here. There's a 4th of July parade, there's a Christmas parade, there's a Peak City Pig Fest, so a barbecue festival, all sorts of great activities in the downtown area. So it's always hopping downtown. You can find live music during the week too. So Apex just has that loving, small charm town feel that you don't want to miss. Before we move on to the cons, I gotta share a cool fun fact. Who doesn't love a good fun fact? So Apex used to be called Log Pond, because on the railroad stop, they would drop the logs off in a pond right where Apex was located. So it used to be called Log Pond because of where it was at on the railroad stop. Didn't quite have the right ring to it, so as Apex was becoming more populated and people were starting to move and actually live here rather than it just being a train stop, they decided to rename it. Now, Apex was the top of the stop before you went down on the train to Raleigh. So some other names tossed around were Climax or Brown Summit. So I'm really glad they went with Apex. We have a big water tower here that says Apex. If it said Brown Summit or Climax, it might have a bit of a different feel to it. So I'm glad Apex is the peak of good living and they chose that name. Before I move on to the cons, reminder, if you're enjoying this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so I know to produce more videos like this one. The number 5 con for Apex is limited late night options. Now, there are some great restaurants in downtown Apex and in Apex in general for date nights, but it is more limited. So if we want to go beyond that, we're going to be going to downtown Raleigh or to downtown Durham for those date nights or nights out. Both Raleigh and Durham in the downtown areas are about 25 to 30 minutes away and have some of the best restaurants and things to do in the entire state of North Carolina. So easy drive, but not right here in Apex. Also, if you're somebody who likes to stay out late, hit the clubs until 2 a.m., my daughter, 9 years old, would say that's cringy, Dad. I won't do that again. But yeah, if you're a really late 2 a.m. person, Apex, smaller, quieter town, probably not it for you. That leads us right into our number 4 con for Apex, which is a quieter feel. So in addition to those more limited late night options, Apex does have a lot more kid-friendly focused activities. So there's parks, there's playgrounds, there's trails, there's festivals and events that are really kid-friendly versus if you're looking for more adult or robust late night activities or even big concert venues or big entertainment venues, Raleigh and Durham are gonna be where it's at for those. So Apex does have that more quieter feel to it, so versus the bigger cities of Raleigh and Durham. And also another alternative could be neighboring Cary. So Cary, you're just a little bit closer into both Raleigh and Durham, depending where you're at in Cary. So if you want to be a little bit closer in, Cary may be a better fit for you than Apex. The number 3 con for Apex is growth. A lot of people love Apex because of that small town charm feel, but they're worried it's going to lose that if it keeps growing. The secret is out. Apex is a fantastic place to live, and a lot of people are moving here. So there's this kind of a juxtaposition and this balance of how do we keep the small town charm and grow? So there's been some debate about that, especially in the town. Tons of new construction, especially in the southeastern corridor of Apex, as well as south of downtown, closer to New Hill, and then south of the downtown area is a huge opportunity if you're interested in new construction housing, but not without controversy. People are concerned that the growth will turn Apex into Cary. So Apex and Cary are very similar, but there's a lot of people would argue that there's a trajectory or similar growth path of Apex is where Cary was maybe 10 years ago. So Apex, 60-ish thousand people, approaching closer to 70,000 now. Cary around 180,000 people. So people are concerned Apex is turning into what Cary is and will lose that small town charm if it continues to grow. The number 2 con for Apex is infrastructure demand. With how much Apex has grown, it's put a huge toll on the infrastructure needed, and it's hard for the town and even larger municipality of Wake County in the state of North Carolina to keep up with all the roads and schools. So there's new schools planning to be built. There's schools currently under construction. There's roads being built. So there is some construction and infrastructure demand that really goes with its increasing population. So that is a concern for some people, is that, the infrastructure demand hasn't quite caught up with how much of the demand for housing is. So they'll put in these new housing developments, but the school system and the schools being built, there's a lag effect on that. So you're seeing some of that infrastructure demand at play there. The number 1 con about Apex is downtown parking. And this is truly reflective of that infrastructure and growth. Because the downtown area is so charming and so appealing, so many people want to go there. There's just not enough parking. There's not a huge parking deck like they have in Cary or big parking decks like they have in Durham or Raleigh. So there's some street parking, there's some smaller parking lots. But if there's a busy event or even just on a Thursday night or on a weekend, it can be challenging to find parking downtown. Now there's proposals to build parking decks or to work on addressing the parking situation downtown. But right now it's just not that great. So if you are planning a trip to downtown Apex, during a peak area, good pun there, peak of good living, but in a peak time, you need to make sure that you allow ample time to park, because parking downtown right now, not the best. Let's be real, the number one con about an area is the downtown parking situation is not so great. I think you're looking at a pretty darn good area to live. It's where I choose to live. My wife and I are raising our 3 kids here, and we absolutely love Apex, and I cannot say enough good things about the Apex, North Carolina area. So if you're considering a move to Apex, I would love to help you out. Please contact me at info@Keitho Realty or at the number on your screen, and I would love to help you out. See you next time.